Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Hare Krishna. These verses which we chant in the beginning of any discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are very, very auspicious and potent. So, whosoever knows these verses, we should all chant, all recite together with the speaker, because it all brings auspiciousness in the environment. Anyways, this environment is already so auspicious, being presence of Shri Radha Sharad Bihari, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani, Gauranitai, and our beloved Acharya Srila Prabhupada. And last but not the least, presence of all of you devotees. So auspiciousness is already there, but in order to show our gratitude, and in order to follow the Shisht Parampara or the disciplic succession, what has been given to us, it's very important to recite these verses. These verses, although seem like a ritualistic or standard process, but it has so much of potency in it. So today we are reading from Canto 3rd and creation of Kumaras and others, and we are on text 25. Dharma satanad dakshino nato dharma
Dharmastana Dakshinyato.
Yatra Narayanam Swayam.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Adharma prasthato yasmana.
Dharma prasthato yasman.
Mrityurloka bhayankaraha.
Mrityurloka Bhayankara.
Dharmastana dakshinato.
Dharmastana Dakshinato.
Yatra Narayanam Swayam.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Adharma prishtato yasman.
Adharma prasthato yasman.
Mrityurloka bhayankara.
Mrityuloka Bhayankara.
Dharmastanad dakshinoto.
Dharmastana Dakshinato.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Adharma prishtato yasman.
Adharma prishtato yasman.
Mrityuloka bhayankara.
Mrityuloka Bhayankara. Dharmastana Dakshinato.
Dharmastana dakshinato.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Adharma prishtato yasman.
Adharma prishtato yasman.
Mrityuloka Bhayankara.
Mrityuloka bhayankara. Dharmastana dakshinato. Yatra Narayana Swayam. Adharma prishtato yasman. Mrityuloka bhayankara.
Dharmastana Dakshinato.
Dharmastana dakshinato.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Yatra Narayana Swayam.
Adharma Prishto Yasman.
Adharma prishto yasman.
Mrityu Loka Bhayankaraha.
Mrityuloka bhayankara. Dharmastana dakshinato. Yatra Narayana Swayam. Adharma prashtato yasman. Mrityuloka bhayankara. Synonyms: Dharmaha, religion; Satanat, from the breast; Dakshinitaha, on the right side; Yatra, wherein Narayana, the Supreme Lord, Swayam, personally, Adharma, irreligion, Prishtataha, from the back, Yasmat, from which, Mrityu, death, Loka, to the living entity, Bhayankaraha, horrible. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Religion was manifested from the breast of Brahma, wherein is seated the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, and irreligion appeared from his back, where horrible death takes place for the living entity. Purport. That religion was manifested from the place where the personality of Godhead is personally situated is very significant because religion means devotional service to the personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita as well as the Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, the last instruction is to give up all other engagements in the name of religion and take shelter of the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms that the highest perfection of religion is that which leads to the devotional service of the Lord, unmotivated and unhampered by material impediments. Religion, in its perfect form, is the devotional service of the Lord, and irreligion is just the opposite. The heart is the most important part of the body, whereas the back is the most neglected part. When one is attacked by an enemy, one is apt to endure attacks from the back and protect himself carefully from all attacks on the chest. All types of real religion spring from the back of Brahma, whereas real religion, the devotional service of the Lord, is generated from the chest, the seat of Narayana. Anything which does not lead to devotional service of the Lord is irreligion, and anything which leads to the devotional service of the Lord is called religion. Anything which leads to the devotional service of the Lord is called religion. Let's just show our gratitude to our previous acharyas. In interest of time, this Mangalacharan we just tailored according to our time. But whosoever knows, please chant with me. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So today we are reading from Canto 3rd, chapter 12, Creation of Kumaras and others. So as we are very well aware that Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic literature. If we consider all the Vedic literature as the branches of a tree, which is these scriptures or this literature is coming from the tree of Swayam Bhagavan is Sri Krishna. And then the fruit or the essence of all these branches just together comes in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahapuran. We celebrated as Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadev Goswami he has glorified so many times the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 1 and Chapter 1. So, the Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever we are studying together in the association of devotees, is a very potent process because our mind is so obstinate, strong, right? And so flickering all the time. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotee really gives it a foundation so that this mind can stay somewhere. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important literature. And as our Acharya Srila Jiva Goswami has said in his Sandarbha, in his Tattva Sandarbha, that Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate authority of all the Vedic literature. He says that Srimad Bhagavatam is just like the emperor, and all other literature just follows him. Hmm. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest sort of pramana or authority. Hmm. So yesterday only I was reading, Jiva Goswami has given a very wonderful definition of Shastra. It has a particular Sanskrit name. Um, I'm forgetting. It's a big, big name. So the meaning for what Srila Jiva Goswami is explaining, the definition of Shastra is a literature a literature which is providing all sorts of knowledge which is otherwise very difficult to perceive by our senses. Hmm? What we can perceive with our senses? I can perceive that I am a body. I can perceive that you are all sitting around me. I can perceive this table, but certain things I can perceive. But because of the presence of four defects in human being, I cannot perceive everything. Even in this mundane world, what to talk about the world which is beyond even my imagination. So Shastra is that literature the Shastra is that literature which provides all kind of information which is otherwise impossible to achieve. Hmm? And also, he explained that Shastra is directly coming from the breathing of Narayana, from the breathing of Lord. Nobody is creating this Shastra. So that's why this Shastra is never ever, or the scriptures in English word. So scriptures, they are never going to change ever. Hmm? Oftentimes, we have been given this advice that, whenever we are in distress, go to who? Three personalities: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Hmm? Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So we can see that Guru and Sadhu, they both are dependent on Shastra. Hmm? They are Guru and Sadhu because they are speaking the words of Shastra. If they are not speaking the words of Shastra, we reject Guru and Sadhu. So Guru and Sadhu, they are dependent on Shastra, but the Shastra is independent of itself. Why? Because they are emerging from the breathing of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And this Shastra or the Vedas or the knowledge of the scripture is not very easy to comprehend and or to understand. Right? If I say, let me just open Srimad Bhagavatam, read it, and I am good. I am good in my philosophy, in my bhakti, but that's that's not what our acharyas have recommended. They said that in order to understand Shastras, we really need to understand it from a person who is already realized, because this knowledge is something which can um, create doubts in my mind. So create doubts in my mind, and doubts like there are two kinds of doubts. I mean, there are several doubts, but these doubts can be broadly categorized into two forms. One is asambhavana and other is viprabhavi. That means one is why Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the other is why others, Brahma, Shiva is not equivalent to Lord Shri Krishna. So all these doubts comes into the mind of a sadhaka, or a practitioner of bhakti, or devotional practice. I'm sorry if I don't um, convert the meaning from Hindi or Sanskrit to English. Please let me know. Many times I do that. So okay, so a sadhaka or a practitioner, for him it's very very important to understand the right meaning from the right source, and that's where guru and sadhu comes into picture, because they are realized souls. They have already learnt the truth from they have already realized and learned the truth, and they have realized the supreme personality of God themselves. And that's why we see in our books of our acharyas or six Goswamis, they are writing such intricate pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like if we see Ujjwal Nilamani of Rupa Goswami, such intricate pastimes of the Lord, how he is writing, because he already got mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It's none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who has assumed the mood of Srimati Radharani. So I have explained that Guru and Shastra, or Guru and Sadhu, they are not independent. They are dependent. But Shastra is always independent. If there is no Shastra, then there is no Guru and there is no Sadhu. And what to talk about the process of cultivation in devotional service, in devotional practice. And many times when we read in the scriptures, or not in Srimad Bhagavatam is a Shastra. So when we read, especially in 10th canto and also in this, so there is a kind of doubt which arises in the mind of a sadhaka or practitioner, that how it is possible. This is all exaggeration, right? If we go to canto 10th, there we can see that Krishna has million of children, and in order to educate those children, there were like millions of teachers. Millions of teachers. And what is the population of our world, which is estimated right now? 7.5 billion, right? So it's like how it is possible that that many billions were engaged in the service of Krishna at that time. Not only that, Ugrasen Maharaj, who was um, the ruler and the father of Kamsa, he used to have millions of bodyguards. So when we hear this, we like, it's so much of exaggeration, right? And if we go to Vrindavan, in the land of Vrindavan, there we see that Vrindavan is not that big. That area is not that big. And there we say that Krishna had 900,000 cows. Huh? And then how it is possible? Where the 900,000 cows were living? And on top of that, Srimati Radharani's father had 10,000 some cows. Shastra is exaggerating so much, all these things. So there is a particular name, technical name, which has been given where exaggeration comes. It's called Arthavad. Arthavad. So Shastra is doing Arthavad. It is doing Arthavad. Sometimes not only in glorifying something, but also in criticizing something. Both ways it's happening. If Shastra is criticizing something, it is going to criticize in a way that you will be like, oh my God, this is exaggeration. And when Shastra is glorifying something, then it's like it is exaggeration. But my dear friends, exaggeration as Arthavad is there in Shastra wherever there is fruitive activities are concerned, or fruitive, where the topic of fruitive activities is given. For example, it's given, right, when anyone drink the remnants or take the remnants of yajna, which is a fruitive activity, then you can drink the somrasa, or the nectar from nectars from demigods, and you can become immortal. Now you tell me, are demigods immortal? No, they have their certain lifespan. Sorry, I just deviated from the topic, but yeah, really quick. So yeah, so when it comes to bhakti or devotional service, when the Shastra and Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that even one name of Supreme Lord is enough to purify you, so that's there. Shastra is not doing arthavad or exaggeration. Because bhakti is the swarupa shakti of the Lord, is intrinsic characteristics of the Supreme Lord. So bhakti has so much potency. Even one name can deliver anybody. And there are examples which are given, and there are examples in current world also, and we can feel ourselves too. And this is a whole other topic than why nothing is happening with me. So if I go there, then I will not cover today's points. Okay, I don't know how I just went there, this in this direction, but I was just glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. That Srimad Bhagavatam is not exaggerating anything. There is no arthavad in Srimad Bhagavatam because no fruitive activity has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's what today's topic is of religion and irreligion. We have seen that religion was manifested from the breast of Brahma, wherein is seated the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. So, religion, when we talk about the word religion, or in Hindi, usually Prabhupada always translate it as dharma. So, dharma, what is this dharma? Srila Prabhupada, in his purport of 126, he has given a very brief definition of dharma, that dharma is one that which sustains one's existence. That's what dharma is. Now, because we are in identity crisis, right? We are in identity crisis. By this I mean that this soul is a very minute particle which resides in the body of Mahavishnu, and at the creation this soul gets and this soul always covers with always has the covering of karma, because this particular kind of living entity is conditioned living entity. uh, Conditioned living entity on account of being away from the Supreme Lord or bereft of the knowledge of Supreme. Paratatva Jnanam Abhavam. Because of the Abhavam, or because of not having that knowledge of Supreme, this living entity from beginningless is away from the Supreme, from Anadikala. And when this started, nobody knows when this started. And that's why this living entity comes into the contact with Maya Shakti of the Lord. Now, this Maya Shakti and Jeev Shakti both resides in the body of Mahavishnu. Who is Mahavishnu? Who is Mahavishnu? First Purusha Avatara, right? First Purusha Avatara, who is responsible for the creation of this material world. Now, in his body, Jeev Shakti and Maya Shakti reside. So, he is the one who is dealing with both of these energies. So, as a pastime, whenever creation happens, this living entity who is conditioned from beginningless comes and covered with karma. Karma, what's the English word for karma? The baggage of fruitive activities. So this living entity gets into contact with material nature, and the connection between the living entity and material nature is also anadi or beginningless. Uh, where Krishna is saying this in 13th chapter, verse number 20, that the relationship between Purusha and Prakriti is anadi. Both are connected with each other from Anadikala or from beginningless. And because of that reason, now this living entity gets the covering of avidya. Avidya or mode of ignorance, which is a component of Maya Shakti. How many components Maya Shakti has? Prakriti, Vidya, Avidya, and Karma. So with that, this Maya Shakti just Avidya covers. Now when Avidya comes, this soul who is Satchitanand Rupaha, or this soul has knowledge, bliss, and is eternal. So knowledge part of this soul gets covered by the Avidya potency or Agnat Sukriti, oh sorry, agnat vritti. And because the knowledge part is covered, this soul forgets that I am the spirit soul. And this soul forgets, and other layer of false ego or mithya ahankar makes the consciousness of this soul thinks that you are something else, right? Like you are this Prabhu or you are this Mataji, and whatever belongs to me, then that generates raga and dvesha in me. It belongs to me, it belongs to you, so I have envy or dvesh. And that's why the fourth agyan or the ignorance comes, which is called abhinivesha, fear of death, because I consider myself to be body. And we have seen in the start of this chapter, at the start of this chapter, Brahmaji, in his secondary creation, he is also creating 5 kinds of self-deception. And the names which has been given here in this chapter are Tamha, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamishra, and Tamishra, which are similar to avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. I have explained what, even in the previous class, I have explained, and I have seen that Mother Archana Bhakti also explained this point here in his class, in her class. Okay, so when the covering happened, and after revolving in so many species, I get this human form of body. I consider myself as a human being. I consider myself um, as a part of the society. I consider myself as someone's wife. I consider myself as someone's daughter. I consider myself as someone's daughter-in-law. I consider myself as someone's mother. I consider myself as a part of this community. So these are the identities which has been given to my consciousness or my soul. And because of these identities, my religion is to be a very, very good wife or good daughter or good mother or good whatnot, according to the prescribed karma or according to Varanashram system, right? I'm talking about those who follow the Shastras. These are called karmis, not vikarmis, karmis, who follow the injunctions of Shastras. And on top of that, when devotee comes into my life, he tells me, you just perform your duties, but at the same time, just give all the fruits of your actions to the Supreme Lord with love and affection. There I am doing Deva Varnashram system, means I am following my rules and regulations. I am doing. So at this point of time, what is my dharma? My dharma is to follow Varnashram system. But if we see in first canto, chapter second, first canto, chapter second, there is a sloka 1 to 16, I guess. No, 1 to 16. Let me just see. This is a sloka, and just I'm just looking the number. I think it's 1 to 6 or 16. Sorry, 1 to 13. 1 to 13, what the sloka says? Ata bhumbhi dvidya sreshta varanashram vibhagasa swanutishthasi dharmasya samshriti haritoshan. That all the activities which are all the prescribed duties which I am doing, if they should be motivated in such a way that only Lord Hari, for the satisfaction of Lord Hari, some siddhir haritoshan, for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hari. And that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport of this verse, that real religion is, again and again the word real has been used. Why? Because real religion is connected to my real identity, which I have forgotten due to the effects of this Maya potency. And Maya Devi is also not at fault. Nobody is at fault actually, because I am Virakta of Krishna consciousness. I am here, and I forgot my own identity. And this real religion is connected to my real identity. And what's the real religion? To cultivate the love for Krishna, to practice devotional service. That's the real religion, which has been explained by Srila Prabhupada again and again in the purports, and also Shukadev Goswami is also explaining that. We know that first canto, chapter 2, verse number 6, um, so, when Shaunaka rishis, uh, they ask, what is the essence of human life? What is our dharma? What is our dharma? What is the sloka? 1 to 6. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshache ahetuki aprahitaha. What is ahetuki? Ahetuki, without any motivation. Uh, without any motivation. Aprahita. Aprahita means uninterrupted. These two words are very, very important. Although these two words establishes or defines the secondary characteristics of the sloka. Hmm? Because the main characteristics of this sloka is yato bhakti adokshaje. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshaje. And that to perform devotional service onto the transcendental Lord is the primary characteristic. If you are doing that, you are doing the primary characteristic, tick. You are doing samanya bhakti. You are doing bhakti. But is my bhakti a shuddha bhakti? No, it is not. Why? Because it is motivated. It is motivated by my desires of gaining something in return by performing the process of devotional service. And Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, as well as in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11th. Canto 11, I think it's chapter number 24th, where Krishna, and the title is the three modes and beyond. Three modes and beyond, and Krishna is explaining to Uddhava in that chapter. He is saying, Uddhav, the devotional service can be practiced in so many. So devotional service can be practiced into so many ways, in so many modes, in three modes. And Krishna is saying those people who are performing devotional service, or who have the inclination towards spirituality, and they don't want anything in return. They are in the mode of goodness. And others who want something, they are in the mode of passion. And others who are just doing devotional service just to become great, or just to, what you say, a good word for this. I don't want to use a word which is not appropriate. Just to harm others, or to just gain pratishtha or the prestige, that is in the mode of ignorance. But a devotee who is performing my bhakti unmotivated, uninterrupted all the time, he is on the transcendental level, beyond the modes. So when we read the words of Krishna, especially, this canto, and in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining about the faiths in different modes in chapter 17. So in there, we can see where I am standing. Where I am standing, most likely we are not you all, but just when I say we, it's basically me. In combination with passion and ignorance, not even mode of goodness. So unmotivated and uninterrupted is very important. Many times we think that tathastha lakshana or the secondary characteristics is not very important. We are just doing it. But these words are very important, unmotivated and uninterrupted. So if I am not doing unmotivated and uninterrupted, that means 24/7 direct devotional service. So there are kinds of bhakti which has been explained in Bhakti Sandarbha by Guru Goswami. There are three kinds of bhakti: Aropa Siddha Bhakti, Sangha Siddha Bhakti, and the third is Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. A lot of explanation is revolving around this. But Aropa Siddha Bhakti and Sangha Siddha Bhakti, these are two kinds of bhakti. The first one is Karma Mishra Bhakti. Karma Mishra, I am working and I am just giving the fruits to the Supreme Lord. But my consciousness is that I am agrasta. That's not the elevated consciousness. And then the other is, I mean, there is lot of explanation. I'm not explaining anything here, but Swarup, Sangha Siddha Bhakti is when I'm controlling mind or I'm assisting in bhakti. You know, like for chanting japa, I am controlling my mind. So I'm assisting in performing my japa nicely. So that's called Sangha Siddha Bhakti. And the third one is Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, which is direct devotional service, hearing or chanting or doing bhajan or kirtan, etc. So why to go to kinds of bhakti? First of all, the definition of bhakti, which has been given to us. Narad Bhakti Sutra has so many sutras where Narad Muni has composed the definition, and where in Narad Bhakti Sutra, Shandilya Muni, Garg Muni, Parashar Muni, Ved Vyas, they are giving the definitions of bhakti. And then Narad Muni is also giving the definition of bhakti. But Rupa Goswami, he has just taken from everybody the definition, and he clubbed everything into a very sweet definition, which is Anya Abhilashita Shunya, Gyan Karmadi Anavrita, Anukulena Krishnanu Shilana Bhakti Uttama. If we see, this definition is containing everything. If we have our classes on this definition, so I guess that we really need a week to explain only what Rupa Goswami has given. Because Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they have given their commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And there they are explaining the entire process and also the stages of devotional service which has been given to us. There is a whole entire literature written over one verse. So the point is that unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service is our real dharma. Dharma of this soul, performing devotional service, right? We can see in the teachings of Rishabhadev in Canto 5th, chapter 5. Canto 5th, chapter 5, I think the verse number is 19, where, yes, verse number 19, where Rishabhadev, he is explaining to his 100 sons, and he is saying, Idam shariram mam durvi bhaivam. Sattvam hi me hirdayam yatra dharma. He is saying the same thing. What is given in this verse? Sattvam hi me hirdayam yatra dharma. That this dharma is the part of my body. Dharma comes from me because Rishabh Devi is the incarnation of Lord. So he is explaining to his 100 sons, right? So that's what he is saying, that my body is inconceivable, although I look like a human being, but this dharma comes from my body. And this dharma is nothing but performing devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although there are many prescribed duties which we are performing, but if those prescribed duties are not cultivating the love of Godhead in our heart, then what are all these varnashram system doing with us? Sham evihi kevalam. Just the waste of time and waste of our energy. Because by performing varnashram system, only without bhakti, we are coming again and again in this material world, because we are the perfect performers of varnashram system. Maybe in next life we are going to get, nice body, nice family, and upper family. And if we are performing certain yagnas, I'm going to go to the upper planetary system, otherwise I'm going to glide down. So whatever I am doing without bhakti, I'm going to remain here in this material universe until when? Until 100 years of Brahmaji, which is equivalent to approximately 311.42 trillion years. Who wants to remain in this material universe, keep changing the bodies again and again and again and again for 311.42 billion human years? Raise your hand if anyone wants to. No one, right? No one. So this human body is a rare chance. Now, when we keep hearing about human body is a rare chance, it's like The first day I came to in ISKCON, I just heard this: Prabhu, you are not a body. Prabhu, you are a soul. You are a spirit soul. You are Jivera Swarupu Krishna Nityadas. Now my ears, after being in ISKCON after 30, 35 or more years, become immune hearing this, right? Hearing this, okay, same point, same point. Can you explain something else? But this is the point, again and again, Srimad Bhagavatam is also saying. Huh? But why? What is the reason? Because wherever I am going, even I am going in upper planetary system, I am enjoying the results of my actions. And if I am gliding down, what I am doing? I am suffering for my problems, right? I am suffering from my problems. But only human form of life is the chance, is a rare chance to escape from this cycle of birth and death. This unique human birth is, given because this human birth has the capability to facilitate the doors which can open into the spiritual world. Huh? By following the process which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to cultivate that beautiful Bhakti Lata page. Hmm. So we were talking about dharma, right? There is a very famous discussion in Canto 6 between who and who. In Canto 6, very nice, beautiful story of Ajamila. Huh? So after Ajamila, we all know the story of Ajamila. I hope everybody online also knows that. So this Ajamila, who was a Brahmana, and then because of bad material association or association of the senses with the object of the senses, this Ajamila fell down from his position. And throughout his life, he performed so many things which a Brahmana or a normal karmi who is following the Shastra should not be doing it. So at the end of his life, because his son's name was Narayana, he called Narayana when he saw Yamadutas, right? And when he called Narayana, Vishnu Dutas appeared. And Vishnu Dutas, they instructed or they commanded these Yamaduta to leave Ajamil. Uh, and there was a whole argument which happened. And then these Yamaduta, they just, the Yamadutas, they have described dharma in chapter number 6, sorry, in Canto 6, chapter 1, verse number 40. Hmm? What are these Yamadutas are saying? Let me just take it up. Yeah, Yamaduta Uchuhu, Veda Pranito Dharmaho, Hi Adharmasya Tad Viprayaha, Vedo Narayana Sakshal, Swayam Bhur Iti Sushurma. What the Yamaduta said? Yamaduta said, Vedo Pranihito Dharma. That whatever is given in the Vedas, that's Dharma. Why? Because as the start of our discussion we have seen, because these Vedas are nothing but the breathing of Lord Narayana, coming from Lord Narayana. So, Swayambhur iti Shushruma. That's what we heard from Yamaraj. So they are also giving the proof reference here that we are also coming into the disciplic succession. We are not like just, the servants and coming and doing what whimsical out of our own wish. So they are saying that's what Swayambhur iti Shushurmama. That we have heard this from Yamaraj, right? That's what dharma is, right? And then Vishnu Dutas, they just defeated them, and this chapter closed. And then these Vishnu Dutas, Yamadutas, being morosed and distressed and stressed, they just went on to this Yamapuri or the abode of Yamaraja, and they said, today what happened? Everything they explained that he uttered the name of Narayana, they appeared in this. And Yamaraj, who is one of the Mahajans, Yamaraj, who is one of the Mahajans, what he said, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranit. That real religious principles are those which are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. So, if anybody is taking the name of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially at the time of death, Never ever bring that person to me. Never ever bring that person to me. And there are other so many things which Yamaraj has spoken in this particular chapter to Yamadutas. If anyone wants to read, it's a beautiful discussion between the Yamadutas and Yamaraj. And then Yamaraj, he said, never ever bring a devotee or a person who is chanting the name of the Lord to my abode. I am not the person who is going to decide for them. So, but see, um, when we see Canto 10th, chapter 64, the king story of King Nriga. Uh, you all know the story of King Nriga. So this King Nriga, he was a king. He was a he was a very charitable king. So he performed so many charities in his life. So many charities, and he did one mistake. He gave one cow to two brahmanas at the same time, two brahmanas, and he forgot about it. The story explains it all in chapter 64 of Canto 10, story of King Riga. And then this King Riga was taken to the abode of Yamaraj. And Yamaraj said, what do you want to do? You want to face the punishment first, or you want to face your actions, your reactions of good or pious karmas first? What do you want to do? He said, I want to suffer first, right? And he became a monitor lizard, or a very big lizard, in a well which was situated in the outskirts of one. And Krishna's children, Sambha, Charu, there are so, so Krishna's so Krishna's children, they were trying to take this lizard out from the well, but they were not successful. And then they spoke with Krishna, and Krishna came. As soon as Krishna touched this lizard became king, a king. Now in the chapter it comes that King Nriga, he said, I wanted to see you, and I know the importance of your glorious names and importance of bhakti. I wanted to see you so badly. Now I'm very fortunate that I get to see you, Krishna. Mm. And that's what I did, and that's why I became. Now, what I was saying earlier, and what Yamraj is saying, real religion is performing devotional service to the Lord, and what Srila Prabhupada is saying in this purport, and what our Sutta Goswami is saying, or giving the definition, Sabe Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokshache. So, the same thing is being given to us in Bhakti Sandarbha, Anucheda number 153 by Jiva Goswami. He is bringing the story of King Nriga there, and he is saying, although King Nriga knew the importance of performing devotional service, he never accepted it into his own life. Rather, he accepted sub-religious principle like charity, austerity, and did not accept this main devotional service, hearing, chanting, kirtan, like what Maharaj Amrish had. And he considered all those glories of the Lord and devotional service as arthava. Arthava means exaggeration. So he rejected those, and he performed other activities in his life, and that's the reason why he had to go to the abode of Yamaraj. Although Yamaraj in this chapter has clarified that my devotee don't bring back to me. Although King Mriga knew about it, but he did not perform devotional activities. So there are various incidents. If we keep talking, and so many stories are taken from the Bhagavatam in Bhakti Sandarbha, and explain that, I'm not going there because it's like I'm just deviating from the topic. So the point is real religion. Real religion is to follow the devotional service and to love the Supreme Lord by the given processes. So there are two ways which has been given, not two ways. So there are three types of bhakti which has been explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sadhana bhakti, bhavu bhakti, and prema bhakti. Prema bhakti. And prior to these three, samanya bhakti. So that's another point. But sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, or sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti has two divisions, Vedi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. What has been given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is definitely Raganuga bhakti. But because we don't have that raga or inclination towards the Supreme Lord, spontaneous inclination, so that's why we automatically is falling under the Vedic bhakti. That means we have to follow the injunctions of Shastras. And that's very important to have faith and respect for the Shastra. Right? So, Vedi Bhakti, this Vedi Bhakti is the process which has been given and explained by our acharyas. And by following these processes, stage by stage, we can achieve our ultimate goal of Krishna Prema. It is the gradual change. But on the other hand, if we just stick onto the Varnashram system and on the name of cultivating Shraddha and not getting Shraddha or firm faith in the injunctions of scriptures, if we are just waiting, then Narad Muni in Canto 7. In Canto 7 has how many chapters? 15 chapters. Out of those 15 chapters, the first 10 chapters are talking about what? Pure devotional service, Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti, where the characteristic of or the entire story of Prahlad Maharaj has been narrated. The last 5 chapters are explaining what? Are explaining Vishnu Bhakti. Last 5 chapters. And in these 5 chapters, the duties for a civilized man has been given. And Narad Muni in those chapters, he himself is saying, by following these duties or Varnashram system and, offering the fruits to the Lord, Shane, I mean, that means gradually, after lifetimes and lifetimes, you will reach your goal. That's what Narad Muni is saying. So we have to decide if we want to go shane, that means we want to go gradually, or we want to just run. Many times I have heard that, take it easy in our bhakti, there is still time. And there is a story of what? Tortoise and a rabbit? Tortoise, slow and steady wins fear. Being steady is very important. But when it comes to bhakti, we have to run because this human life, although very, very rare, important, but is very flickering. Next moment, what's going to happen? Nobody knows. So we really have to run. And Srimad Bhagavatam second canto is saying saying not only when you perform bhakti, start performing bhakti. Just if anyone is closing his eyes and running, he is not going to fall from the path of bhakti. Closing eyes doesn't mean don't follow Shruti and Shastra. Closing eyes means be confident. If you are following scriptures, you are under the power of your spiritual master. Run on this path. You are not going to fall. Slow and steady wins the race in this material world. But as far as our spiritual activities are concerned, we have to fast and study. That story of tortoise, it's very good to give moral lessons to children and to not for the spiritual life. That take initiation later. It's okay. You are good enough, right? Just hear Prabhupada, just read books, you are good enough. Anyways, to whom to trust, right? In this day and age of Kali. If I keep thinking like that, what's going to happen with me? King Riga, who just don't believe on the processes of devotional service. And the trap of Maya is that Maya Devi keeps telling you, oh, you are such a good devotee, even without taking or doing, I don't know why I'm taking this point of initiation, but that's what the hurdle comes. Mainly, I have seen. What's the use, And I'm looking for a right sadhu. That's good. Look for a right sadhu, but on the pretense of saying that I am looking for the right sadhu. I am not progressing in my path by whatever my acharyas and our Srila Prabhupada has given us is like not caring about what they have said and doing whatever whimsically my mind is saying to. So fast and study wins the race. And that's why the stages of devotional service has been given to us. So in this life, we have to perform our real religion. And that real religion is to perform the devotional service of the Lord in a way or according to the scriptures of injunctions of Shastras on the power of a sadhu, a guru. That's what has been given to us because I don't have the spontaneous love for Krishna right now or that lolyum to follow the mood of an eternal associates of Krishna. I don't have that. What I have just that much that I have to do it because I understood it with the help of devotees around me. Now I have to proceed further following this path of Vaidhi devotional service or Vedi Bhakti. Not just slow and steady win the race. It will be slow and life is going to go away like this. If you have seen, there are so many things happening around us. In India, there was a plane crash, such a terrifying plane crash. So many people just burnt on the spot. So many things are happening, not in India, all across the world. And after seeing all these things, I'm saying that take it easy, chill. My bhakti is, I'm going to go there. It's okay. What's the sense of doing all these right now? So it's very, very important. And Prahlad Maharaj also explained to his followers or to friends. Now people say, oh, you are giving the example of Prahlad Maharaj. He was Prahlad Maharaj. But what about those friends? They were demons. They were not devotees. They were demons. When they can do it, why can't we who are in the human form of life and have given so many facilities and information and knowledge and love of Godhead through we are getting the everything in Srimad Bhagavatam, we are getting access to sadhus, we are getting access to devotees, then why can't we do it? That's the point which all of us have to incorporate in our lives. And after giving the definition of bhakti, save pumsa hetu ki aprahita, yayatma suprahiditi, sorry. So what he said, Sutta Goswami, in as the conclusion of this chapter, what is the name of chapter? Divine and Divinity, right? That's the name of the chapter. He says, at the end, he said, Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakha, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriya, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapa, Vasudeva Paro Dharmo, Vasudeva Paragati. So he concluded in entirety. He concluded what is real dharma. What he's saying, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna. Vasudeva Paraha Veda. Vedas are indicating towards whom? Vasudeva. Vasudeva Paramakha. Vasudeva Paramakha. Sacrifice. Vasudeva Para Yoga. All the yogas, all the mystic powers indicated towards Vasudeva. Vasudeva Parakriya. All the activities towards Vasudeva. Vasudeva Param Jnanam. Vasudeva is the supreme object of knowledge. Vasudeva Param Tapam. Vasudeva is the supreme object of severe austerities. Vasudeva Paro Dharma. That's the real dharma. Vasudeva Paro Dharma. Vasudeva Parahagati. He is the supreme goal of life. That's what Sutta Goswami just gave us the nichod or essence, condensed essence. Vasudeva is everything, right? And to follow the path of bhakti in order to please Lord Vasudeva is the object of our life. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said so many times. I am concluding with a story, a very small story, which comes in Madhya Leela, chapter number 20, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing to Sanatana Goswami. And there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a analogical story. And this analogical story is that a poor man comes to a devotee astrologer, and he say, "I'm so poor. Can you please look at into my horoscope?" And when this person, devotee person, I think his name is Surajnya. Yeah, given. Yes, yes, bro. Thank you. So he sees and he say, "Oh my God, you know your father is so rich, but and he has a treasure. There is a treasure which he left, and this treasure is somewhere else, and you don't have the information of it. Why? Because your father died in a foreign land." Hmm? So he got, and the poor man got so excited. Where is the treasure? I want to just dig onto it. So he said, okay, just there is a place. Now only the information that I have treasure, or my father left treasure, is of any use for me unless I find it. No, right? So he explains it. This Surajna, right? Okay, don't dig in southern side, don't dig in western side, don't dig in northern side. Why? Because you will find some other inauspicious things there. But in eastern side, you will find little bit of dirt, and you just clean that dirt, and you will find that treasure lying there. So this is a analytical or analogy given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, similarly, a living entity um, is the servant of the Lord, a part and parcel of the Lord, and is full of and is blissful, eternal, and knowledgeable. But don't even know, realize that I am the son of such a great father, Krishna. So, and then the analogy goes little bit long that, the first analogy, the southern side, when we dig, it is material prescribed duties for our material activities. The other one is other one is mystic yogas, which we perform. Other one is austerities, and the fourth one, eastern side, is what? Eastern side is devotional service to the Lord, and there is little bit dirt over it. There are little bit anarthas over a period of time, which as a conditioned soul, I have just accumulated. So little bit brushing is required. When I say little bit, it's really not little bit, a lot. But little bit brushing requires, and you will find that treasure of prem, or the relationship, prayojana part. So I'm going to stop here. If anybody has questions. So before I stop, Narad Muni has explained in Canto 7th 5 types of adharma. 5 types of adharma. If we want to read, we can go in chapter 7, Canto 7, Canto 7, chapter 15. Canto 7, chapter 15, I think they are verses 12, something, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these and the 5 types of adharma has been given there. I thought to cover it, but I think I spoke something else too much today. But yeah, thank you so much for giving this wonderful opportunity to me for glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. Whenever I say something, I'm struggling in my own life. So don't think that by any means I have achieved that what I was speaking. It's glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam is a way to teach myself. So that's why I'm doing it. You all are great Vaishnavas who are following the process so nicely. And please bless me so that I can continue in my devotional service by the blessings of all of you. And if there is any kind of service I can do, please let me know. Any questions, anything, any corrections, any additions this time we can do. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Aditya, as you said, human life is very rare and time is also running very fast.
Yes.
So I'm practicing bhakti itself in this age of Kali Yuga, and especially the time where we are in. It also becomes difficult.
Yeah.
being a devotee also becomes difficult, like, so practicing in that. So as I said, like, Raganuga Bhakti and Vedai Bhakti. Our aim is to achieve Raganuga Bhakti, but as a process, we have to follow the Vedai Bhakti and start with there. So let's say, like, as you said, as we know also, that, like, human form, by practicing, let's say, like, we haven't reached, and I'll talk about this. I haven't reached to Raganuga. Okay, and then, but unfortunately, my time has come. So, by the mercy of Guru and Srila Prabhupada, Lord Krishna comes and say, okay, you have done whatever you could, so I give you liberation. Okay, you can go to Vaikuntha. Should I take that, or should I say, okay, no, my Lord, I want to achieve Raganuga Bhakti, pure love, got it. I don't want to come. So what should be my take?
Okay. So your point or your question is that there are two paths, Vedi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. And if before finishing or when my time comes, when I have to leave this body, I'm still on the path of Vedi Bhakti. And at the end of my life, Prabhupada and Krishna comes and they say, okay, now it's the time for liberation. So should I take it and should I not take it? So the point here is that we think it's not only for you, just general answer. We think that we are following the path of Vedi Bhakti because the entry point of Vedi Bhakti is Drid Shraddha or full conviction in the injunctions of Shastra. If I don't have, as I explained, Arthavad, if I don't have, then even I entered it, but still I'm very far from my goal. Srila Prabhupada has said that whosoever is following the processes are going to, get it, that place. But Srila Prabhupada also said, chant attentively. And also in various purports, Srila Prabhupada had said, affection is what we are needing for achieving our goal. And when we even enter into all these stages of devotional service, which has been given to us by Rupa Goswami, in Madhurya Kadambani, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given so many points where my bhajan is anishtita. And I can see anishtita means not steady bhajan kriya. Why my bhajan is going down and coming up, down, up. So there are various points which has been explained there. And we can see which parameter I am falling in. And what is going to happen at the time of death to me, nobody can say. Nobody can say what's going to happen because the offenses, there are four kinds of anarthas. Sukrito anartha, dushkrito anartha, aprado anartha, and bhakti udya anartha. Out of these four, aprado anartha is the anartha or the unwanted things which has offenses. Offenses. So these offenses are so subtle that we don't even realize that these offenses are subtle. And that's why you have heard many times that we say there is no prerequisite to bhakti. Bhakti is simple. You don't have to do this, to do that. But again, when we go in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, one of the characteristics of bhakti, there are 6 characteristics of bhakti. What is one of the characteristics? It is sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means, durlabha means difficult. And when we add su in front of it, that means extremely difficult. So why there is a gap? Because it is easy to enter into bhakti with Komala Shraddha, but it is very difficult to jump onto other stage. So first of all, what is going to happen with anybody at the time of death? No one knows. So Ajamila's story is there, and there are so many things which acharyas have said about it. Why only by taking one name of Ajamila? Because it was not offenses. He was sinful. He was doing sins, not offenses. So, and at that time, with that kind of urgency, he chanted the name of Narayana with his life and soul. Are we chanting in that way? I mean, at least I am not chanting in that way. So that's what is required. And Krishna Smarana is also very important while we are chanting and performing our limbs of our angas of our bhakti. So if we see that, Krishna is going to come to you, and yeah, he can come to you. You are such a nice devotee. So Krishna is going to come to you and he said, okay, now you go back. So what you are aspiring for in your life as a sadhaka? To see Krishna in land of Raja or to see Krishna in Dwarka? What you aspire for?
You're asking the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said,
You want to serve Krishna as his sakha, as his, there's all these activities.
I'm not saying them personally, I'm just putting this question.
Yeah, I'm just
giving my example, but it doesn't mean that what I want. I do not have the thought about that far yet. But
Yeah,
just a question.
Okay.
As human life is rare, some devotee is practicing, and let's say he has not reached to the top level, where Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, and all those, for that pure, very, very pure.
Answer is in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is saying, Arjuna asked the same question. What happened to those people who start your bhakti and then because some reason, or maybe death is one of the reasons, they just not continue into that direction?
I'm saying
Krishna,
yes,
given
they
to
will come back to the family or aristocratic family,
Yes.
or they will continue. No, my question is not there. But Krishna is coming and saying, okay, you take the impression, but I'm saying, okay, I haven't reached to
prema.
Bhakti, but I want that.
Yeah. So if Krishna,
So I'm ready to go back,
Yeah.
Go back and then reach to that level and then come back.
So,
So my question is human form is very rare and
Yeah.
the way it is difficult and all those things.
Yeah.
So what should be the
I got your question now, I guess. So the point is, as Rupanugas, because we are followers of Rupa Goswami, and also everybody, when we are following Vedi Sadhana Bhakti, at one point of time, we cultivate that mood in which I want to follow Krishna in spiritual world. So that time, if I have not reached that level of prema, first of all, it's Krishna's own will, what Krishna wants to do. A bhava bhakti, till bhava bhakti, devotee is going to help you. After that, it's Krishna's hand. He wants to reveal to you or not. So Krishna, if first of all, it's not going to happen that you are if you are the follower of that mark where you want to serve Krishna into the Goloka Vrindavan as his servant or in the relationship, that you will get that liberation, which are 5 liberations. You will not, because your inclination is not there. It depends on the mood of the sadhaka, where you want to go. And the different moods are allowed also. So if you get that, if Krishna comes, say, and give you liberation, don't take it because you don't want to mix that point of serving Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Because in other muktis, Sayujya Mukti, Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya, Srashti, we ignore, So don't take that, any of that mukti. Why? And it's not in my hand, honestly, to decide where I will be going. But the mood is definitely you can cultivate. Mood of sadhaka, and it depends on the mood of sadhaka too, where you are going. Right? And Rupa Goswami has said, right, bhukti, mukti, spriha, that desire of both bhukti and mukti, they are like pishachini, witches, which hamper the obstacles, the bhakti path, right? So, first of all, if you have the mood of serving Krishna or the inclination towards the Vedic, all these reaching up to the Goloka, Krishna is not going to come and give you that other muktis which you don't desire. That's why this free will is given to the living entity. How many people are there here? How many people comes on Sundays? How many people are following the process? People are using their own free will. They don't want to use it. They don't want to surrender to Krishna in this lifetime. I'm not saying by coming here, they are more surrendered. No, by no means I'm saying that. But the point which I'm mentioning is how many people use their free will. If you are using your free will in order to achieve that love of prema of Krishna, then you are not getting that. If you don't aspire for it, unmotivated, if your bhakti is unmotivated, and you are really looking to serve Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna, like gopis, just for the pleasure of Krishna, not for
living eternally happy, my happiness. You are doing that, you are definitely going to go in that realm where you want to go. It depends on your free will where you are using. Sorry, I have taken so much time. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope I was able to explain what, All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Anybody, because it's time.
Let's see here.
If anyone wants to leave.
So, any devotees online would like to ask a question or share anything? There's the Rath Yatra in Harrisburg, and it's devotees gathering at 9:30 to leave from here.
Okay. Yeah.
But it doesn't look like anybody's online. Thank you for all the detailed explanations that you gave.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prataraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna devotees. Just wanted to mention those that are online and those that are here. His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj is going to be here tomorrow evening at the Sunday Peace program. He'll also be speaking Monday evening at the Bhakti Garden.